What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tierfon Orbital. Let's talk about another Cal Kestis hilt, right? Why not? I mean, I just did one. Let's talk about another one. So this is an install upgrade that I completed on an 89 Sabers Fallen Order V4. So this is the first time that I have modified one of my chassis to be used with the 89 Sabers heart or core system, right? So the client sent me this hilt already installed with electronics from 89 Sabers. Now, 89 Sabers, what they are doing with their hearts and cores is really, really cool. POC does the same thing, the POC store, Ultimate Works. They're a great solution for folks who want to get a core and use it with multiple hilts. So the client wanted their core upgraded to a Proffie V3. And initially the client wanted a complete rebuild, right? So once I started the teardown on this hilt, I could not for the life of me figure out how this upper PCB section was held in place. Now, hilts from Ultimate Works, I've seen them use very cleverly hidden set screws. Some of them use epoxy. So I did not want to damage this hilt trying to remove that core. So I thought another cool solution would be if I tried to utilize the connector that 89 Sabers uses for their cores and just kind of retrofit it onto one of my chassis, right? So this is something I've been wanting to try for a while. Luckily for me, the client also had the core available and sent it with the hilt. So I was able to reverse engineer the old chassis. I have it actually. I was able to reverse engineer the chassis and utilize this connector up top, right? But a very, very elegant, elegant core solution that 89 Sabers does. I mean, they even have, everything's custom, like their connector is custom. It's branded with 89 Sabers. I'm sure they're parts that can be found on DigiKey or something, but the PCBs are custom, right? And there's some PCB LED Neopixel switches here. Really, really nice. Nice setup, right? But I just tore it up. I destroyed it because we can make it better. Anyhow, so yeah, I was able to get the core onto one of my chassis, right? I don't want to come into fusion because this is actually, it's almost the same chassis that I've done in previous Cal Kestis hilts. So I'm not going to come into fusion, but I do want to come up top and talk a little bit about the install and talk about the chassis itself. And then obviously we'll do a demo, right? So let's come up top. All right, so let's talk about the chassis first. Okay, so this is the connector that comes with the 89 Sabers core, right? So it was threaded in or secured with some hex set screws, and this is where it was wired up, right? So I had to remove that and reverse engineer which wires went where. And then I just went about designing a chassis that would hold that PCB connector. Tilted Proffie board. This is a Proffie V3. There is a kill switch just underneath the Proffie board itself. Here is our battery tray. I did the same setup in the bottom of this that I've done with previous Cal hilts where we get some shine through. So with the 89 Sabers version of this hilt, we've got a really nice broken pommel section. And there are vents here. So you can get some shine through with that speaker, right? Or that Neopixel ring. Speaker is underneath that. This is essentially just a cap that slides over the speaker itself. I'm really, really happy. Part of me was actually shocked that that worked. So to use the hilt, to use your chassis, spring side is your negative. Flat part of your battery goes spring side. Hit that kill switch. And you're ready to go. So to use the hilt, unthread the grip. So the way that I've been lining this up, right, this is your aux button, the brass one. Proffie board up, same side as the aux button. You want to kind of feel for it. There we go. There we go. So you want to kind of feel for it. The only thing with these 89 Saber cores that I have heard is that because there's no like clocking mechanism or timing mechanism, If you're jamming it in there and just kind of twisting it to feel it where it fits correctly, it can damage those pins. So just like here's a perfect example, right? So where these circular greeblies are, line those up with the aux button. That's such a satisfying click there, right? And you're ready to go. So a cool thing about this is, again, I didn't have to remove this upper PCB. So the aux switch was already wired, the main was already wired, and of course we've got our lit PCB emitter up there. Put your chassis in, put your grip back on. You're ready to go. Let's come down to the bottom. I don't know if you can quite see that on camera, but we've got some shine through in the pommel. I mean, this is a really nice hilt, honestly. Even if, like, I feel like the products from 89 Sabers are pretty decent, honestly, and because it's a great utility hilt, honestly. Let's see what else we put on here. Let's put a blade in it. There is a set screw in between these two shrouds. There's also a blade plug that was provided with the hilt. So unscrew that set screw. Take your blade plug out. This is a 1-inch blade holder. So just rest your blade on those PCB pins, a little tight. Tighten that set screw. You're ready to go. I mean, I think calling it a good utility hilt is almost a disservice. This is a great Cal hilt. I mean, it is. It's a great it feels sturdy. I'm not afraid of the shrouds falling off.
Ninth sister.
One more. I lied. One more. To the customer, this is the font package that you requested. I put on for you. So I was able to get all of that on there. The config has been saved to the SD card. And that's it, right? Really, really great hilt. As far as Cal hilts go. So, you know, I've seen a bunch of the Ogdo Killer. I've seen a bunch we've seen a bunch of variations on this hilt. The Ogdo Killer is a beautiful, beautiful hilt. It does have some intricacies like with the shrouds and everything, but as far as like utility everyday hilts, this is a great Cal Kestis themed hilt, right? So, and I was really happy that I was able to retrofit the 89 Sabers connector in here. That was my first time trying that. I'm actually a little bit shocked that it worked, but yeah, cool to offer people another option if they want to upgrade their 89 Sabers hilts to a custom chassis. It is possible, so I'm happy with the result. To the customer, thank you very much for trusting me with your install. If anyone has any questions about the process that I went through to do this install, or any questions at all, really, please do not be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.